Mula at that time had bought a couple businesses. One of the businesses was a store named Six. By that time, it was just a front to launder his money, which later on became a reuniting point for a lot of MS13 game members that will come there. And it was a mandatory team. When Mula would say, I need you guys to be here, it was Mando that will have to go. So now this store will serve as a front for a good thing, but also as a reunited point for all the MS13s to get down. And all of these dudes were leaders. They would talk about business, how things were going on. And that's how Moro and Senji got this idea. Well, he left his wife here alone. We can do something, if you know what I mean. So these two start coming to the store Six. They start communicating there. That was the gathering point for them. With the discuss business and everything like that. They decided that if seeing Robert, Mula hears about this. His now newfound socios or newfound partners are mad that somebody decided to touch one of their friends' wife or even him. So what did they do? They start putting filters up there, trying to figure out who was responsible for it. The wife comes to Mula and say, "Hey, look, I think I recognize what this individual. I think it's that dude named Senji that I seen around with you or either with Moro." Mula is infuriated. He decides to call Moro and tell him, "Hey, look, come here. I need to talk to you about something." Moro pulls up. He tell her, "Hey, that Fusenji around my wife did this and this and this. I need to do something about it because I cannot be seen weak or cannot. I have to act because guys know the gangster politics, especially if the family is involved, which I don't agree with. Family, wives, or kids being touched. I don't agree with none of them. Whatever transpire, whatever they decide to be, whatever they decide to do, family should never be involved on retaliations or be held accountable for other individuals." So Mula tell Moros, "I need this dude gone. I need you to do me a solid. I know he's your perrito, and I know he's your road dog. I need you to turn him in 3 days." Moro trying to look good for him, not knowing the Senji guys another thing on mine. Mula not knowing that Moro was behind this whole orchestrated robbery. Say, "Yes, don't worry about it, homeboy. I got you. I'll turn him in 3 days." He agrees to turn his own raw dog in for the benefit of him not getting put on Front Street, knowing damn well he was behind all of that stuff. But guess what happens? He can turn him in. Senji gets a gut feeling that something is wrong, that something not right, not adding up. So he start doing the dipping and dabbing. He start hiding. He start going to different places, doing what he had to do to stay alive. Days, weeks, months pass. Morro cannot turn this guy in. He can't find it. So Mula decided to take matters to him. He said, "If you can do it, then I'm gonna try to see handle it." So he decided to put his own crew together, start making phone calls, and he had one of his homeboys who happened to be a sicario for a cartel. He called him up and like, "I need you to do me a paro. I'm looking for this individual. When I find you, can handle that for me?" Homeboy say, "Yeah, don't trip. I got you." So their goal spend days in, nights out, looking for this guy. They can't find him. He's nowhere to be seen. Fortunately for Senji, or I can say unfortunately for somebody else, Morro calls Bula out of the blue. "Hey, homie, I need to talk to you. It's an important phone call." He decides to take the phone call. Morro's on the other end. "Hey, I'm here with Senji and his wife. We're about to go out to a taqueria, get some food. Be on your phone, be through. I'm gonna hit you right back as soon as I know the location." Finally, Mula is like, "Yeah, this is about to happen." So he called his team. He gets them ready, like, "Be on point. We're finna roll out. Finna go handle this." The individual that respect to the wife. They decide to go out. Mula gets another call. Well, they drive to the restaurant. Moro and Senji pull into the restaurant with his wife. They're talking it up. Moro makes up the excuse, "I gotta go hit the leak. I gotta go hit the bathroom." So he goes to the bathroom and makes a quick phone call. He thinking it's all good that he's about to get this respect from his older homeboy that he about to be put on because he's trying to mean whatever, right? He never realizes that Senji start getting a little suspicious about him fidgeting all night with him doing whatever he did that spiked his suspicious that made him get up out of the table and follow this dude to the bathroom, either because he had to use the bathroom on the truth or maybe because he wanted to look. Morro's on the phone with Mula, like, hey, we're in the taqueria so and so. Come on, he's here with his wife. You guys got in here. Angie hears this conversation taking place in the bathroom. So he decides, he's infuriated. He's mad. I mean, he cannot believe his ears. His homeboy, his raw dog, the dude that he went through and through for, the one that was smutting this dude up, the one that set everything up, is turning him in to save his own ass. And that's what I tell you guys. Grimy, grimy, grimy. So Senji decided to go and get his wife and say, hey, check it out. We got to bounce. She's like, what is going on? She's like, we got to bounce. He takes a cab and say, you know what? While he's on the trip, I can only think what's running through his mind. I can only imagine what's going through his head. Like, how can he do me like this as my perro? Well, he drops her off at the apartment and says, stay right here. Do not go. I got to go back. He's mad. So he probably thinking it's either going to be me or him. And I'm trying to get before I get got. So he decides to drive back. They take a cab. He drop his wife off. He decides to drive back to a restaurant with a pistol in his hand. By the time this whole time is taking place, this Henji left. Mula and his entourage got there. Two people, his Sicario homie and the other individual, decide to go into the restaurant and handle business. Mula and somebody named Molina stayed in the car while these two individuals walk in. They're trying to go do this. When they get there, they catch a surprise. As the Sicario homie and somebody else is walking in, they start hitting shots. Pa, 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 pa. Somebody's getting lit up. Mula's turning around. He's looking like, what the hell is going on? He's confused. He don't know nothing. He don't know what's transpiring. Senji came back and started shooting at Morro while Morro was sitting on the table. He gets hit 13 times. The Sicario homie con Mula, he said, fool, le están pegando al Morro. They hit him, Morro got hit. We gotta go, lulu. They decided to take it to the hospital. Somehow, some way, this guy survived the 13 shots that were put on his body. If that's not God's plans, I don't know what it is, man. They take him to the hospital. He survived 13 shots. Senji left. Mula's hot. He's like, man, I know who did it, la la la. But guess what? Here was coming the twist. Senji decided to call Mula the next day and tell him, hey, Lou, check it out, man. I know you're looking for me. I know you're trying to dome me. But before you do that, let me tell you something. That robbery that happened with your wife, that wasn't my idea. That was whole Morro. Mula cannot believe what he's hearing. He's like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? What the hell going on? He's blown out of mind. Senji break it down, whatever transpired, whatever conversation he had with Moro before the robbery, whatever conversation they had before all this transpired. He tells him that Moro was either jealous of you, he was feeling some type of way because you were scaling it, and he was feeling some type of way that you were letting the homeboys to a wrong path because of your association with them and whatever. So he decided, he came up with the whole plan to rob your wife, teach you a lesson, go from there. Mula can't believe his ears. He's mad. They talk. He's like, Senji goes, I know you're gonna try to kill me for whatever, so it is what it is, man. Senji calls Mula and tell him, man, check it out, man. I know you're not gonna believe me, but this is what's gonna happen. I'm gonna get mine. I'm gonna get my revenge. I'm gonna do what I have to do because this dude put me in a position. He put me in a predicament where now I have to run for my life from you and everybody else that we're fighting here in Mexico. But he never had the chance because in September 16, he was gunned down by narco people in Mexico, or the cartels. Whatever he was doing down there finally caught up to him, so he got killed. But Morro was still alive. So now Mula got a decision, what I'm going to do with this individual. What's going to happen here? Senji gets killed, now he got to deal with this individual. So Senji gets killed. Mula continued to do what he has to do. He continued growing, start escalating his criminal empire. He started doing what he needed to do. He started building his empire, started sending dope to it. He started establishing himself as the leader of MS. He started communicating with people. He started networking with people. But he never realized that his mistake will get in caught will be one phone call. There was people looking for him, probably people looking for him. So he started communicating with people, the United States federal government, Start trying to track him down, start trying to figure out where he was at, because his name was ringing in the prison system, his name was ringing in the streets, his name was ringing everywhere. So they're trying to figure out where this dude at. They can't find him. He's nowhere to be found. Until one day, somebody does a phone call, his name or somebody recognizes him, he gets intercepted for the phone call. They find out, figure out where he's at. He's in Tijuana. So they're like, okay, they start investigating. How can we get this individual? How can we get to him? So they start trying to figure out how they're gonna get him arrested and do what they have to do to bring this guy to prosecution here in the United States for illegal control systems, crossing methamphetamine and cocaine through the border, sending this, and plus he had all a couple charges pending for his RICO indictment of MS13. Plus he's now affiliated with this dude. Throughout this whole process, he gets inducted to the Mexican Mafia. He gets nominated. He gets made. Now he's a señor, the first Salvadorian señor that ever got inducted into the Mexican Mafia. So now his power goes from 50 to 100, because now he has control of a whole transnational gang organization that he can do. They can do his bidding. They can do his say-so. And he's growing powerful by the day because he's growing alliance with the cartels, plus the people that was around him, the organization he belonged to now. Of course, there were some people in the MS organization that didn't agree with a lot of things, especially now that he got inducted to the Mexican family. He was no longer seen as a MS. He was a carnal now. He was a señor. He was well-respected señor. A lot of people didn't like him. A lot of people didn't agree. Even in his own organization, I wouldn't doubt there was some skepticism going behind his back, because he was Salvadorian. He was the well-known Salvadorian. Unless he decided to transfer to Mexico. I don't know. But like I say, we know it's a public knowledge. It's public records. He was Salvadorian. He was born there. People that can look it up can see that. I'm not speaking on this man on something that I made up. I'm not speaking on this man on something that's not public record. If you do your due diligence, if you investigate it, it's gonna be out there. What happens? On March 5th, 2016, he gets arrested in one of his businesses, 6. They arrested him. They basically, the government of the United States had enough cost for him to get transferred to the United States. Due to his ties, due to his organization, he was 49 years old. They transfer him to stand trial over here for criminal activities, the RICO indictment that had transpired, plus his association with the organization, and as well as other charges. He gets arrested. He gets bring back to the United States. Now he's waiting trial. That's what the thing is. So here's the thing. He gets arrested. He was 49 years old. But this is what kind of surprised me when he got arrested. That the Mexican government didn't do no Photoshop. Didn't do no news. They didn't do nothing. They just discreetly deliver into the United States government. Say, here you guys go. This is the guys you were looking for. Here we go. They turn him in. He stands trial. We all know what his sentence was now. But they deliver into the United States government. And he stands his facing his trial. So the feds charge him. Does what they have to do. And then they send him to Ohio, where he got a case pending, a RICO case pending. On the 24th of July, 2021, he gets sentenced to Ohio. He gets 5 years over there. They open another case against him, the case that he's now was sentenced in the federal government. So he gets sentenced to 5 years while he's in Ohio. Then they decide to send it to him under a RICO indictment. He have a new case come up, new evidence was found. Then they decide to try him for the dope affiliation, transporting and distribution of cocaine and methamphetamine. That's what the feds charge him with after he was sentenced to his 5 years in Ohio that he's gonna run consecutive. But here's the thing: Mula was well-known gang member and a leader of the MS structure. He was responsible for establishing a well-power people in El Salvador. He put a lot of homeboys in power. He helped structure the whole foundation, the whole communication with El Salvador. He was trying to help them also structure a lot of the situation that was going on over here. He was a well-respected figure. He still is a well-respected figure, to my knowledge. He's still in the game. He's still in the business. Um, like I said, he was a respected MS13 gang leader, and plus, due to the ties that he had to the organization, he gained more power. And his respectable came down to even El Salvador, where he established a well-known presence as they're over there with the homeboys. The power they had him behind him, he was there. I mean, the guy was well known, he was well respected. There was a lot of things behind him that came into play. But like I always tell you guys, karma is something that always comes back and bites you on the ass. And on December 23rd, 2022, Morro gets what other people will call karma. A group of people broke into his house. They ran up in there and they shot him and killed him. So Moro at the end, for him trying to sell his own raw dog out, he gets also killed. Now Mula's here fighting the case. Did it have something to do with him? Was he made the call? We would never know. Speculations can be speculations. Suspicions and conspiracy can be suspicion and conspiracy. Now Nelson plead guilty to the charges that he was facing with. He got sentenced to 210 months in the federal prison system. He's 52 years old. He's serving out his sentence in a federal prison. Obviously, he's still active. Obviously, he's still doing what he needs to do for his gang, his activist organization. But here's the moral of the story, why I shared this story with you guys about this so-called gang leader. It doesn't matter how powerful you get on the streets, how much power you have. At the end of the day, there always gonna be a downfall, whether it's one of your loved ones or whether it's one of your so-called homeboys. Here's the moral of the story why I shared this profile with you guys. He's a well-known, respected. I got calls when I mentioned I was gonna do this video about him. I got calls left and right for people like don't speak on him. It's too dangerous. I'm not disrespecting the main or the organization. That's not my doing. But also, I'm not gonna be getting phone calls and get scared of doing a video that I think people should know. There was a lot of factors that play into him. He was a Salvadorian national that got inducted to the Mexican Mafia, the first Salvadorian, to my knowledge, to ever get inducted into the organization. I'm not highlighting his accomplishments as a criminal mind. That's not what I'm doing. But here's the moral of the story. We had three individuals that worked together so well. Then he acquired power. His homeboys trying to knock him off. And then you have Moro and Senji, two individuals that at first were plotting against this individual, trying to dethrone him so they can get into a good with the people. And Moro betrayed his raw dog, his friend, somebody he spent time with, somebody he loved. This is goes how to tell you guys how treacherous and how vicious this game can be. It doesn't matter if that's your raw dog, your homeboy. They will be the quick ones to sell you guys out. They'll be the quick ones to say, I do it. I turn them in for you just so they can get in good grades with their people. And this is why I push this message. And my message is not to glorify his accomplishments, he was a big bad gangster. Anybody else can do that. He's a big bad cholo. He made to where he was supposed to make. Guess where he's at now? In the prison system, doing 210-month prison sentence. And we don't know how many more charges the federal government is going to bring up to him, because he's been named in a couple indictments. He has been in communication still with some people. What gives that he's not going to get more time and more charges added to him? It doesn't matter how much power and money he had. He's still locked up. He lost his freedom. He lost his wife. He lost his kid. What gives that his wife have 11, his kids just say, I don't want nothing to do with him? And then you got two homeboys that grew up with each other, that grow to a point where they love each other, betraying each other just so they can get good with a criminal that didn't care about them. That the moment he felt disrespected, betrayed, were like, kill them. Let's go get him. If he loves his homeboys as he say he does, he would have never put Moro on a predicament and said, turn in Senji, or Senji to be like, you know what, I feel like I have to rob somebody because I'm not getting at least what I'm doing. Or you didn't have people calling him all type of names behind his back. And that's why I push this message. We got to be better. We got to treat our people that are around us better, man. We using, abusing them, and discarding. This is a well-known fact that the organization does, the M organization, the Mexican Mafia guys. They use and abuse the soldiers and then discard them when they don't need them. And then they get mad because they speak out or they lashed out against them. And then people in the comments going to be like, oh, well, you know what you're getting yourself into. No, that's not the truth. That's always not the case, man. Sometimes they paint you a picture and you feel like you're getting that, and the next thing you know, you probably think, I'm a loyal dude, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, and the next thing you know, you turn around, boom, you're done. This loyalty is not, this Grueso's game is not what it I tried to be. These youngsters gotta think about going to prison and becoming so-called cholo, so-called soldado, so-called sureño, so-called norteño, whatever you faction or you banging is. Think about risking your life for somebody at the first chance they have. They're gonna say, you know what? F him. We don't need him no more. And then who's gonna be crying? The people that's gonna be there is gonna be your loved ones. We gotta be better for our kids. That's why I push this message. Let's teach our kids there's a better way to do things, or there's a better way to get money other than just selling dope, getting game banger. You guys grow. This young generation grew in an era where everything is at your tippy toes, at your hand tips, with your computer and laptops. Find a good resume, do it. Go get a good job at Tesla. Go get a good job at something you can be a manager. If you don't like to do nothing, go drive a van for Amazon. Go do a delivery guy. That's a good job. They pay you good, and there's no shame on that. If a girl that you like, oh, you a delivery guy? Well, she's not the girl for you, my guy. Because if a woman cannot support what you're doing and following your dreams, then that's not the woman for you. If a woman can tell you, I don't care if you're a delivery guy or you're flipping burgers, but you at least making a decent living and cares for you and love you truly and affectionately and on the real, that's a good woman. Youngsters, don't get fooled by, oh, I'm gonna have cars, money, because the first thing you do, the friend's gonna betray you, you're gonna end up in jail with nothing but your only jefita, your mother supporting you and your family. And sometimes they turn their back on you. That's why I tell game banging is not the life's to go. Get yourself a job. If you don't like to working around, find a job that can pay you just sitting on a computer and doing keyboard work. Be better, my guy. Strive to be a professional entrepreneur. Do your own business. You don't have to follow the footsteps of other people that won't care about you, that don't love you, brother, because these gang leaders do not care about you. These gang leaders do not love you. The person that loves you is your mother, your father, the people that are trying to fight for you. If you need help with something, hit me up. I help you whatever I can, as long as you're doing the right thing. We shouldn't be pushing our youngsters to be gangbanger, throwing up game signs, looking like you got a damn attack in your fingers. I used to do that. Now I'm not proud of it, but I'm glad that my mistakes taught me something that I can teach somebody else. I wish I had somebody that told me, hey, this is not what it was. I didn't have that person to speak to us. I make my choices later on in life. Some of them are regretful and I'm ashamed of it, but now I'm making the choice to sit here and help somebody and put these people on blast. Yeah, this guy became the first so-called mafioso in the Salvadorian history. Oh, for what? Now he's sitting in a federal prison doing nothing. Yeah, he probably networking. What can he do the other prisoners can't? He got the power and everything, the money, can't spend it. Can't spend time with his kids or his wife. We can, we are here, man. I'm not saying that everybody behind the walls is guilty or is a damn fool, but I'm saying don't let these so-called leader figures, mafioso leaders fool you guys. They got grimy shit on them too. They dirty, man. They don't care about you guys. They will show you a smile, and the moment you laugh, stab them, kill them. That's why we got to stop this cycle of violence. We got to help our young kids. We got to help everybody. Not just the young kids. We got to help each other. And stop putting each other down like raza. We got a habit of saying, that vato talks like he's about that life. That pinche vato, F that fool. We got to stop putting each other down. We got to build each other instead of breaking each other, man. We're better than this. We can do better. We will do better. You guys already know, man. I send my love into all you guys. I always appreciate you coming in and tapping in with me in my life. I always appreciate checking out my videos. Thank you for everything. This channel is for you guys. I will be making the videos about the Salvadorian things, the La Sombra Negra, the Black Shadow, and everything else. Just be patient. Bear with me. I'm going there. With that being said, man, have a blessed night. Tell your loved ones you love it. You already know. Let's get it.